So we actually got the van back from the shop already. It looks really good.
It looks so good.
And we want to do a big unveiling video, and that's not quite this video, but we feel like we should give you at least a little bit of a sneak peek.
Do you want a little sneak peek?
Like a small one, maybe a little sneak.
Okay, that's good.
Can they see anything?
I think they can see a little bit.
Over the last 4 years, I've been making adventure films out of my Sprinter van. Now, together with my wife Janelle, we are finally giving our van the build-out it deserves.
Hey friend, welcome back to our van build series. Looks like we've been doing some work.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of work.
In this episode, we're gonna walk you through some really practical steps for tackling rust in your van and how we kind of went through the different stages and the various repairs we did to the interior of our van.
And last thing we left you off with is that we had dropped the van off at the shop and they had torn it apart.
And we had to look after the interior of the van. So there was various rust projects we had to do, some holes in the floors, and we also updated the seating. There's some painting that we had to do to actually help with the whole painting process to finish this off so we have a great foundation for the future of our build.
This video is brought to you by the Adventure Film Academy. Levi actually runs workshops, online courses, and this May, coming up, he has 2 different workshops on sailboats.
What are they learning on these trips, babe?
So you're learning how to film out in the wild on a sailing trip with Levi.
Adventure filmmaking.
You need to check it out, so all the info is in the description below. So we wanted to update our seats at the front, add some swivels, and deal with the whole cockpit area all at the same time.
Originally, this van only had a driver's seat because it was a delivery van. So I'd managed to find this additional seat base from another Sprinter that was at a wrecker yard. The seats we'd been using in our van definitely needed to be replaced, but it was proving to be very difficult to find seats that were actually made to go into our van that either weren't completely torn apart and abused or in good condition but way overpriced. I wasn't about to spend $1,000 on some used seats. So in my searching, I ended up finding 2 brand new seats from the new model of Sprinter van on eBay for $300. The only problem is that those seats' hole pattern doesn't fit exactly into our seat base. But I bought them anyways, and I hatched this plan to use seat swivels meant for the newer seats to be adapters to fit into our older style seat bases. Insert generic disclaimer about how you need to follow the laws in your own country, province, state, wherever you live on seat modifications. You might need to get them certified somewhere or something. But this little swivel adapter plan ended up working out really, really well, and I was very happy with the finished result.
Yeah, I guess we got to get the bench seat kind of in position before. Like, it would be great to have a table that came up right here. But not the right one. Like right now, the floor only has to come up to this everywhere.
Oh, I see.
Like the floor has to meet where the bracket is, so it's flush.
With the seating mostly figured out, it was now time to deal with the interior rust.
So the first stage was just take everything out of the front of the vehicle and remove all Levi's sketchy repairs.
So the biggest problem area in the front of the van has to do with that sketchy repair that Janelle is talking about. When I first got the van, the roof was leaking, and that was creating a puddle right in between the 2 front seats. So this was obviously creating a lot of rust, so I had initially done this temporary repair. The problem is the temporary repair I had done on the roof also started leaking, and so again, our rust issue between the 2 seats was just getting worse and worse, and we had to pull the whole thing out. Another thing I did at this stage was grind away these brackets that were originally meant to hold in the bulkhead, which I had actually removed a long time ago.
So let's just talk through the steps we took to deal with the rust, kind of hold it at bay, and do our best protection against it. Janelle, pass over some of the products. So let's just jump in here, and the main paint we used was just this Pour 15 rust paint. And this is supposed to be one of the best rust preventative paints available on the market. It's a little bit expensive for a gallon. This isn't a gallon, whatever size this is, a US quart. It's a little bit expensive, but it does the trick. And it's all in the prep before you actually get to the stage of using your paint.
So the first thing you gotta do is just grind away all that surface rust. And basically anything that can flake away, we gotta get that off.
So this is where the project is made or breaked or successful. This is basically, if you don't do this stage right, you're gonna have rust come back way sooner. It's very hard to completely eliminate rust. Once you have signs of rust, it's probably gonna keep coming back, but depending on how much work you put into this stage will be how long your actual efforts will hold it at bay. And then what we used was metal prep from Pour 15 as well. So metal prep basically helps stop that chemical reaction from happening as best as it can. The rusting process is a chemical reaction trying to get the steel back to its original form with the combination of moisture. So you're trying to neutralize that chemical reaction that's happening, and metal prep is a great way to do that.
So I will just say here, you can still see some of those holes that the rust made right in the center of the floor. And we did eventually patch that up because we don't really want to be seeing the road through the bottom of our floor, but we'll need to cover what we actually did for that patch in another video.
Are you happy to be alive?
So happy to be standing.
Okay, so what are we doing to prep this area for paint?
I'm taking off all the sticky residue with Goo Gone, and then I'll clean it with alcohol and give it a good sand.
What's the sanding process? Are you using the same grit or?
Going from 120 to 320 to prep it and make sure the paint's gonna stick, and then we'll paint it out. No more yellow.
We're really over yellow. Now that the whole outside of the van is painted and most of the door jambs are all painted, to leave some yellow on the inside just seems wrong.
And then we painted them with, what was it again?
Rust-Oleum, just generic spray paint, so just
Yeah.
black gloss spray paint.
Wow, making progress. Isn't this so much fun?
Oh yeah.
The most fun possible?
Yeah, kind of onto the zone.
So we typically did about 2 coats of Pour 15 paint, And then one additional step we did for the seat bases that was purely just for cosmetic reasons. I wasn't really liking the look of the shiny gloss black finish for the seat bases. So we came by and did some generous coats of some Plasti Dip afterwards. And that was mainly just to get that flat black matte look. And it was kind of a bit of an experiment, so I'm not so sure how well that's gonna all hold together.
Is it something where like if something's not like put together properly, then like the
van just won't start.
Oh, it won't start.
There's some tiny little rust seam and speck areas in the back of the van, so I'd gone around with the grinder, and then Janelle was doing some metal prep and cleaning on the floor itself.
Ready to paint this thing?
Yeah. Do it.
Was that satisfying after cleaning it for hours?
Yeah, I spent hours cleaning it, getting rid of the dirt and the grime, prepping it, and now it's black. It looks so good.
Good thing we're gonna cover it.
Yeah.
If you got rust in your van, you can totally do it. Levi and I were really intimidated at first with the magnitude of what this project was, but following steps, there's a lot of information online. Everything has instructions, read the instructions, and you can do it. Just put in the time now when everything's stripped out, and it's totally gonna be worth it.
Way easier to do it at the beginning than down the road.
Yes, you don't want to strip everything out again. So just do it right at the beginning. If you have tips on how you've dealt with rust in your van, drop them in the comments below. We would love to hear them. Everyone else would love to hear them. Or if you just have comments about other things, engage with us.
Comments
we'll
are
read
good.
them. We love them. If you don't have one already, get a Life's Better shirt. All the information is in the description below, the website, past videos, future videos. Make sure you check out this guy's workshops coming up in May. Check out that description because it's all in there.
It's like a treasure trove.
It is.
Got a lot of goodies in there.
Yeah, check it out.
Thanks for following along. We'll catch you in the next video. And remember, life's better when you make stuff. Peace.